What's up, everybody? Hope everybody is well. I just got a text message here. I apologize. I got to respond to this. I hope everybody is doing good. Make sure you hit the like button on your way in. Hit the like button on your way in, and all that. Yes. Do will email it. We'll text it. I apologize. Somebody just texted me. We'll text it to you. All right. Hope everybody's doing good. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you say hello so that we can acknowledge you. And I appreciate it. So we got something going on this rainy where I'm at Sunday afternoon. There's a lot going on. Don't know if you guys pay attention to politics and all that. There's protests all over the place. There is, bombs flying all over the place. We just can't we just can't stay out of wars. So it's really sad. So we really need some major changes. High Vibe, what's going on? I still got to do your video, High Vibe. I've not forgotten. Please, greetings, everyone. Please hit the like button as you come in. Rhonda, hello to you. ST, what is going on? Hello to you. I hope everyone is well and enjoying your Saturday afternoon. I hope that you are not working too hard. I had to correct a bunch of papers today, so I had to take a break, and I got to go on out a little bit later. Good afternoon, all. Happy Father's Day to all the dads. Yes, happy Father's Day. There is a show dropping tomorrow for all the fathers, and if you're a woman, obviously, you can watch it and send it to someone, because by we I mean Dr. B and I are talking about. Actually, I'm going to release it to the members tonight. We're talking about gosh, what are we talking about? We're talking about fathers who have lost connection with their children and how they can go about reconnecting. So so it's going to be a good show. I thought I thought we had a good show. Sorry, I got to send another text message. All right. Let's see. And more with left. Happy Saturday and happy Father's Day. Yes. Hit the like button. That's very important. Hit the like button. I do appreciate you guys spending some time with me. This is not presumably going to be a long show. It's not a bait and switch. So the flyer looks like Auntie Anita is going to be here. She's not going to be here. So, but I think she's going to watch, and she's more than welcomed to join if she so pleases. So what happened was she sent me an article, and I said, okay, maybe I'll talk about this. I'll do a reaction to it. She said she was going to do a video, and then I said, okay, well, if you do the video, then I'll just do a reaction to it. So I'm going to react to her video. All right. So what's up, Yoli? What's up? Rhonda. Okay. So make sure everyone else hits the like button. So today we're talking about Pookies and Ray Rays. No, we're not talking about Pookies and Ray Rays. We're talking about whether or not ladies are willing to and are going to be able to accept becoming the breadwinner in the family and living a more hypergamy, hyper is more than, and hypo is less than. So hypogamy, however it's pronounced. So matter of fact, is whenever I put it in something, it's the word is so rare that spell checks tells me I'm spelling the word wrong. So anyway, so let me put something up in the chat here. I'm going to put up do you ladies want to be the breadwinner? I'm going to put that up here. Start poll, start a question and answers. We're still going to start poll. Do you ladies want to, I'll put it, be in a hypogamous relationship? Yes or no? All right. All right, so you guys can fill out that poll. No. Rhonda says no. All right, but that's what's going on here, and that's what we're going to be discussing. So we go over to the poll, hit it. We'll obviously discuss it at the end here. Let's see. So we're going to do some warm-up videos, and coincidentally, I have some videos displaying what this may look like. So we'll let's see. What's the first video I want to show here? It's so weird. I think this is one. I'm only going to play a couple of these because this might take a little bit. Share screen. I think this is one.
Funny, smart, entrepreneurial.
Sorry about that.
There is nothing weirder to me than seeing a man want to find a girl that's the whole package. Beautiful, funny, smart, entrepreneurial, motivated.
See, this is why you never ask a fish how to catch fish. Because 3 of the 5 things she just listed there, we don't really even give a fuck about. We just want you to be nice and pleasant to be around. I want to hang out and just have a good time. And entrepreneurial, if I wanted an entrepreneur, I'll just call up one of my boys and we can date.
There is nothing weirder to me than seeing a man want to find a girl that's the whole package. Beautiful, funny, smart, entrepreneurial, motivated.
See, this is why you never ask a fish how to catch fish. Because 3 of the 5 things she just listed there, we don't really even give a fuck about. We just want you to be nice and pleasant to be around.
What's going on here? My computer is not responding here. All right, so that was the first one there. Let's see. Here's another one. Here's another some couples, and notice these are from different races.
Be real with me.
Women have become so empowered that men feel useless.
Real. Why?
Women are tired of being in their masculine and they're tired of men being useless. They want gender roles to kind of be a thing again. We don't need to be looked after, but we just want the option. They want men who are very secure and ready to step up, who are willing to be like, I'm capable and I want to show you.
Why do you think that started happening?
It kind of comes from like female empowerment, which is great. But like, I think too much of it has made women so independent that they're not willing to let someone in and help them.
I think equality is good. Crazy take. Women and men have different needs. Men want to feel useful and women want to feel loved and cared for. What happened was gender roles started getting diluted. Men started becoming more feminized.
I think there's a polarity of things. Like men can also reside in their feminine and then like women will balance them out. Feminine and masculine energies exist within everyone. Where things get thrown off is when someone's too in their feminine or too in their masculine, because then that's also where toxic masculinity comes in.
Yeah. Toxic masculinity is when you view the world through extreme gender norms, where like you view women as objects to be conquered and you think of everything through, I need to be big, strong man. What is healthy masculinity?
still having like drive and purpose, wanting to be a provider, being able to let women in to help you with your emotional side. Where women can help balance them out is where they can set up the roadblocks for emotional conversations.
Why do you think it's a problem when women aren't in their feminine and men aren't in their masculine?
Women are just so tired of being in their masculine and being super independent and doing all this stuff for themselves. They kind of want someone to be an option to help take care of them.
What's your name?
Maya.
Preston, nice to meet you. Be real with me.
Women.
All right. These are people of other races saying this. Tell me you're joking with me, New York. Tell me you're just kind of trolling me there. I mean, how many times have I said it? How many times have I played videos about that? It's not that we don't want that. It's just that that's not high on our list. We would take a woman who is more nice, nurturing. I've said it 1,000 times. You don't believe me? I guess it's just so hard to believe because I think one of the largest problems is it's hard to understand that this is what you like in a man, and you think that that's what the man wants in a woman. You as a woman think I want a man who's going to be driven, purpose, goal oriented, making things happen, upwardly mobile, intelligent. And you think that the men want that. You think that that's what men want as far as a relationship. And most of the time we just want someone who's nice, who's chill, who is, yes, intelligent. You can be well-read, you can be intelligent, you can have an education, be formally educated. But are these things that are high up on the list? You just heard 2 people say it. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see what else I got to play here. I had a couple more videos here. Here's another one here.
As a man in an intimate relationship, they do not appreciate an ambitious, driven, successful woman.
Yeah, because it fundamentally...
It does not serve them fundamentally.
It also doesn't serve you in the relationship. And I make this very clear. If I go, hey, baby, dinner tomorrow night, 8:30, get dressed and ready. And you're like, ooh, I have a house showing at 8:30. I can't.
You're turned off instantly.
Instantly, you're not my woman. Your devotion meter is going...
Because you want a woman to serve you in all aspects, essentially.
No, yeah. There's a certain component to when you're with a man, you're with that man exclusively. And I think that women go, well, I don't like that. Fair enough.
Yeah.
That's okay to feel that way. I want you to recognize how you really desire that for your best interest. And if you can, as a woman, recognize that, you will start realizing,
Oh, yeah.
wow, it's not my husband. Someone's telling me what to do. And there's no liberation in the fact that now your 8:30 dinner plans with a person you love is now coming for a guy that needs a paycheck and a quota by a certain time. Good work.
So I think there's a lot of truth to that. So if I say I want to go out to dinner, I don't want to hear I got something else. I don't want to hear that. So I don't know. No, I'm not. I'm just asking because in this day and time, more often than not, it takes 2 incomes for a household. Yeah, well, I mean, this is the dilemma of living in a modern time. This I'm not going to say it's not an issue. But yeah. Lyndon Wilson says, if her career isn't paying the bills, what's the point? She can have the goals, but if they aren't productive to the family as a whole, who cares? Last but not least, if her desires do not include you. Yeah, so I think that's been a very major talking point, that your finances should at least help out the household. Your education should help out the household. And a lot of men who go up the corporate ladder, so to speak, get married. They get married, hopefully eventually. And whereas the ladies say, I'm strong, independent, and I don't need a man, and I don't want to get married. So it's all good for me to expect everything on you. So I think that you have to work that out with your man. I think that you have to work that out with your man. You're right that it takes 2 incomes to make it in this time. I'm not denying that at all. And this is the dilemma about about living in this day and time. But we have to, when you're going to be in a relationship, the man wants to know that primarily you're a nurturer. Primarily, your primary role, function, and job is a nurturer. And, his primary job is the breadwinner. And this is what the discussion is for today. Right? If he's not the breadwinner, what is he doing? How do you feel about that? if he's not the breadwinner? And if you can ask that, legitimately ask that, if you're not the breadwinner, and most of you all of whoever has commented so far says, do ladies want to be in a hypogamous relationship? One or two of you have said, yes, you do want that. Okay, well, what is that man doing? If he's not the breadwinner, what is he doing? Providing emotional support? Do you really think that men generally are better at emotional support than ladies? Just saying. Let's see here. I might have. Well, here's Judge Lynn Toller.
My husband had 4 kids.
Damn.
From his first wife. He had no money.
Oh.
But he loved me.
What more do you want from me?
It's a lot in black dating world, and I don't know if it's like this in the white dating world, but it's all about, are you high value? Are you an alpha male? Are you a beta male? What do you bring to the table? What do you bring to the table? It's gotten very superficial. They had this guy named Kevin Samuels.
Listen, man.
And he used to give this, you just tell women, you're too fat, you'll never get anybody.
Yeah.
It's become very adversarial, at least in some areas of the black community, but they're not looking for what we were looking for. They want value, and I wanted companionship. We do so much time on the internet now, we are aggregating everybody else's angst by watching their sad stories. And then we're trying to prove a point, well, I'm high value and I can get this guy and that guy. They're comparing what kind I got, how good I got, how much money I got, how pretty I am. And, is my guy an alpha guy? And I don't date guys with under $100,000. My husband had 4 kids from his first wife. He had no money, but he loved me. And look, I made more money now because I made a guy who made less than I did and was never going to make as much as I did. But he and I ended up doing quite well because he was the brother I needed.
That's a bar.
He couldn't have done it without me, and I couldn't have done it without him. That's when you've hit the jackpot.
That's a bar.
My husband.
So I think that if you can adopt, and I see your comment here, of course, my finances would be towards the home. Shouldn't everyone have the goals not only for the household but for our lives? But I think this is exactly what Judge Lynn Toller is talking about. Is that there's a lot of people who don't want to share their finances, who go around talking about it's just your money, my money is this is what a lot of ladies say. My money is my money, your money is my money. So no matter what I make, I still want you to pay all bills. No matter what I make, I still want you to buy me a car. No matter what I make, I still want you to get my hair, nails, and toes done. No matter what, my money is irrelevant. And this is why men are running. This is why men are having these conversations. So if you have an attitude or a mindset like Judge Toller just talked about, I don't think it's an issue. If you are saying what you're saying, that you're going to have these goals, you're going to have, you're going to have these goals for the household. You're going to be supportive. Okay, what's the issue? But a lot of people seemingly are not in that way, right? So my needs would be my family first. There's nothing, then you got it. Then you got it. You got it. I still think that the man's going to want you to be a nurturer, right? If you're so busy being a lawyer or a medical doctor or whatever, I still think he's going to want you to be this way. Just my thoughts. Just my thoughts. Again, I'm asked. This is a question, so you tell us what you tell me what you think, right? There was a very interesting scene in the series Suits. High-power attorney Jessica Pearson had a penthouse mindset and wanted the moon, the stars, etc. There's a lot of ladies who are saying that. I want it all. I want it all. I want everything. I want the house, the car. I want the education. I want the man. I want the family, the kids. I want to have the family, the kids, the education, and the man. They want it all. And unfortunately, this comes at a price. So far, the vast majority are saying, no, I don't want to be the breadwinner or in a hypogamous relationship. And we're going to define what that means in a second here. But you want the man to be the breadwinner, right? Her love interest, Jeff Malone, was content with a lesser lifestyle. Yeah, guys are simple. Guys really are simple. Guys are so simple. Listen, all we want is a nice, peaceful home, nice environment, right? And a lot of that stuff takes a lot of work. I played a video before about this guy who said he didn't want to do all that. He kept saying throughout the show, he don't want to do all that. You got to go to school, get these educations, get your certifications, get these licenses, work 60 hours a week sometimes, right? Above your well, not above, but working your 40 hours plus 20, 50, 60 hours a week. I just want a simple lifestyle. And sometimes the lady you can be with is either with that. She's like, okay, yeah, I don't want my man working himself to death. Or he can say, I want somebody who's going to be a little bit more, or she can say, I want somebody who's more ambitious, right? Did I have a video about that? About a man taking a nap? Let's see. Was she single, more, or married? Single. I've never seen it. I think it depends on why the man makes less. It's nothing more unattractive to a man who is less ambitious than us. If he's not making money on his 9 to 5, does he has a passive income? Yeah. Okay. Very good. Thank you for that. Still, 92% of you all if you're a lady, hit the like button. Men too, hit the like button, and then make sure that you are contributing to the poll that we got going on. Do you ladies want to be in a hypogamous relationship? All right, so I think that was the last video I'm going to show here. Let me make sure. Yeah, I think that's the last one I'm going to show here. All right. So what is a hypogamous relationship? So again, Anita sent me this. From MSN. And again, I said, okay, I'll talk about it. She said, no, I'm going to talk about it. I'm like, okay, well, you do it and I'll react to it. So this is what she sent me, and we'll read through it here. We're going to define this so you guys can get a better understanding about what we are talking about and whether this type of relationship is for you. Share screen. Okay, so let me make this a little bit larger here. This comes from MSN. What does it say? Hypogamy, the increasingly common romantic choice among brilliant women. And this was just like a week ago. 2-minute read, so we'll read through this. More and more educated women are choosing partners with lower level of education or professional status than themselves. This phenomenon, called hypogamy, reflects a shift in romantic dynamics and social norms. Here's my opinion about this before we go on. All of human history and biologically, we know that women want someone who's more than they are, taller, stronger, faster, more socially mobile, able to collect more resources. Now there's a shift. And all of human history, 250,000 years of evolution in human history, now, because of electricity, internet, and smartphones, ladies are making a change, and we have to ask ourselves why. A reversal of traditional trends. Historically, hypergamy, when a woman marries a man of higher social and educational status, was the norm. However, this trend is gradually reversing. In the United States, according to sociologist Christine Swartz of the University of Wisconsin, the proportion of couples where the woman is more highly educated than her partner increased from 39% in 1980 to 62% in 2020. In France, a study by the National Institute of Demographic Studies indicates that since the cohorts were born in the late 50s, women are more often more qualified than their spouses, thus making a reversal of female hypergamy. Factors behind the rise of hypogamy. Several factors explain its development. The widespread availability of higher education has led to a significant increase in the number of female graduates. In 2024, in Belgium, 56.9% of women aged 25 to 34 had higher education degrees compared to 44.4% of men. This disparity creates a situation where educated women outnumber their male counterparts, leading to them to consider less educated partners. Furthermore, changing gender roles and the desire for relationships based on equality and emotional compatibility are reinforcing this trend. Persistent challenges. Despite this evolution, challenges remain. Traditional social norms can still influence the dynamic of hypogamous couples. For example, a study by sociologist Nadia Steiber highlights that less educated men tend to have more traditional views of gender, which can create tensions within the couple. Moreover, income disparities are not always in favor of more highly educated women. According to Christine Schwartz, these women often earn as much or more than their husbands, but this is not the norm. Yeah, men still, even though they are less educated, men still, on average, even for black men, yes, still on average, out earn their women. Hypogamy thus reflects a redefinition of romantic choice criteria. Successful women increasingly prioritize emotional compatibility, shared values, and mutual support above social status or educational level. This shift reflects a request for authenticity and equality in relationships, even if cultural and social obstacles persist. And that's that article. So, so that's what that is. We still have the poll. Do you ladies want to be in a hypogamous relationship? 17% of you say yes, you want that. 83% of you say no, you don't want that. Let's see. I'll remove this. Hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button. We're about to play Anita here. Let's see. Single. Blue Sapphire's in the building. What's good, family? Dub Betray. 37 watching, 14 likes. Hit the like button, y'all. Blondie, Monique, what's up? All right, so we're gonna play Anita here. She did about a 20-minute video here, and we'll stop it. And she said she's gonna watch. So if she's in here, she's certainly more than welcome to join after we do this presentation if she wants to talk. Nope, I don't want that. Let's see, hypogamy. Let's see here. Oh wait, before I want to do that, actually, there is a video that I wanted to play here. This comes from Sabby Sabs. I was watching her. Anybody out there see the Tyler Perry movie, Straw? I guess there's a new one about the broken down women who just can't make it. Oh, Lord, I'm so rough and tired. I'm so tired. Jesus, oh, I'm so tired. So Tyler Perry has another one out. And so I was watching a little bit of that. And so there's a clip on here that I did see, but I wanted to share it here. So we'll play a little bit of this before we get into it.
Check this out. Black women, and I'm not saying allegedly because the proof is in the pudding. It is becoming more.
Hold on. I'm sorry. I always played on the higher speeds here. Hold on.
There, I want you to hear what this woman said. Check this out.
Black women, and I'm not saying allegedly because the proof is in the pudding. It is becoming more evident that Tyler only sees Black women as hardworking, struggling rape victims that, of course, one day are going to be rescued by a blue-collared Black man. After watching the trailer of his latest film, Straw, starring Taraji P. Henson, I'm a little offended. And honestly, I'm still recovering from mea culpa. He has managed to make billions of dollars off the backs of Black female pain, and I'm sick of it. The media is a huge outlet for the insight of others. I partially blame the media for people's derogatory perspectives about Black women worldwide. I'm not talking about the Beyoncés and Oprahs and Kerry Washingtons of the world. I'm talking about normal, everyday Black women. It is dangerous to continue to depict us in such a lowbrow manner. Looking at you too, Issa Rae. One of them days, really? Where's our Legally Blonde? Where's our Pretty Woman? Well, maybe not Pretty Woman, but you know what I mean. Even in movies where we should be happy and preppy, like Bring It On, of course we have to be the mean Black bully cheerleaders. Do you know what type of message that's sending to everyone else? As a Black woman, I am tired of being showcased as a bottom of the barrel human being. Who's gonna tell Tyler Perry that the average Black woman is actually thriving now? We pay our bills are paid. Thank you. Black women.
All right, so that's what. So you can go over to Savvy Sabs, watch that. I just want to play that real brief, quick clip. I wanted to play that. So that was her, and I saw it on Instagram, but I didn't think to clip it. All right, so so now we're gonna get into. Okay, so Blondie, you saw it. What'd you think of it? Was it good? Was it good? I know what it is, right? I don't even have to watch it. And didn't she play? She played that movie. She played that same part in another movie. It wasn't I Can Do Bad All By Myself. What I'm talking about Taraji P. Henson in a Tyler Perry movie where she was this housewife. she had dealt with this guy for years, and then when he finally made it, he sold some invention and made millions of dollars, and then he left her, or she didn't want to be with him, or some crazy mess like that. I'm like, come on, Tyler. Come on, man. It was good. Okay. And New York Chocolate, you saw it too. What'd you think about it? Barack Obama commented once that women can have it all, just not. I agree with that. Not at the same time, right? There's this push that ladies ought to get their education, whatever, when they're in their 20s, get married, have the kids, and then re-enter the workforce when the kids are grown, 40, 45 or so. That's what a lot of people are saying you should do. This is your life. I kind of agree with that, right? Because by the time you are 40, 45, you've done this stuff. Now you want to start having kids. You're 38, 39, 40. You want to start having kids. Meanwhile, if you're young in your 20s, you get married right out of college. You can have 2 or 3. And then again, when they get big enough to go to school, or at least in high school, you can return to the workforce. I think that's probably a good idea. So that's what I've been hearing. It was good. Straw highlights the plight of many Black women. Let's see. Salute, Doctor. Good afternoon to everyone in the chat. What's up? A Peaceful Life. It was good. Okay, I'm gonna watch it. Was it Acrimony? No, Acrimony was she was cheated on. Yeah, how many Tyler Perry's has she been in? It was another one. It wasn't Acrimony. Hold on, I gotta look it up. Now it's gonna bother me. Taraji. P. Henson. Black. Oh. Tyler Perry movies. No, that wasn't good. Was it I Can Do Bad All by Myself? I think it was that one. I think it was I Can Do Bad All by Myself. 2009 movie. Overview. What was this movie about? The film was produced, who also made an appearance. The rest of the cast, storyline. I need the plot. Medea and Joe Simmons catch Jennifer, Manny, and Byron breaking in a house to children whose mother is deceased or living in the grandmother's house. I don't know. I'm not going to read all that. I don't know. Anyway, maybe it was Acrimony. I don't know. Divorce in Black. I don't know. There are several Tyler Perry movies I haven't seen. You're not missing anything, Rhonda. You're not missing anything. Sherry Shepherd didn't have to have a struggling role in the movie, and she's Black. Okay. Okay, Acrimony. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought it was. It was I can do bad all by myself. Because he kept showing the clip of her waking up every morning dissatisfied. I think that, yeah, she was waking up every morning dissatisfied and was there for like 10 years, 20 years, 10 or 20 years, some ridiculous amount of time. And then the guy creates this invention and it finally gets sold and she was paying all the bills while he's working on his invention. I'm like, come on, Tyler, really? Really? That was not a good one. Straw's pure exploitation of Black women. Tyler is an emotional crack dealer. There is no profit in self-empowerment. She has a Latino. Oh, in this movie? Oh, that's typical, light-skinned guy to the rescue. Right, Blondie, and we can't ignore the fact that there are more than that struggling that are high-powered. Deborah Hutchinson, how are you doing? Make sure you hit the like button. Okay, we're going to play Auntie Anita's video here.
Hard on yourself, and yet ready
for. I'm going to fast forward this. Don't yell at me.
All right.
Speed this up a little bit here. Make sure you hit the like button on her channel as well as this one. So here we go. This is 22 minutes, so we'll speed it up a little bit. She does know I'm doing this, by the way. All right, here we go.
I'm making this video because I personally believe that in the next 10 years, and y'all can quote me on this, in the next 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, this is the land that we're going to find ourselves in. I think we're already there now. And a lot of women are not speaking on this. They're not addressing this, but I see it in my couples practice every single day. And it is having a conversation about hypogamy. What is hypogamy, you ask? Okay.
So let me just stop it right there. So she's seen this in her practice, which tells me it may not be all that's cracked up to be. Obviously, that's not a scientific study. What I'm saying is, my point is, if they're seeing her for relationship help, then maybe this is an issue. Maybe this is an issue, or there's other issues amongst hypergamous relationships, of course, but maybe this is an issue, and maybe it's still just a problem.
So if you have heard me speak on hypergamy is in a woman's nature as far as the evolutionary perspective. And that is basically that women, because we are more vulnerable, especially when we're pregnant, and because we're not as physically capable as men, women tend to look for a taller, stronger man who is assertive, who is competent, who has resources. So she tends to, y'all, there's an ambulance. And I'm gonna keep going. And so she's looking for a man that is better than her. That's how I describe it. And a lot of people take offense to that, but that's how I describe it. I'm looking for a man that's better than me in some way, shape, or form. Taller, has more resources, has more education, knows how to do something and is competent at it better than me, right? Knows about some certain things and has competency in that area. And I don't. I consider that to be a man that's better than me in some way, shape, or form. And so, yes, women are hypergamous by nature. I am hypergamous by nature. All of the men that I have been with, they have either had more education than me, they've made more money than me, they've had more resources than me, they're taller than me, stronger than me. They are all, most of them are extroverted, whereas I'm introverted. Most of them are assertive, and so they are competent.
I don't know why Anita keeps saying she's introverted. I don't know why she keeps doing that. Not an introvert.
In some area of life, they're more competent in that area than me, whether it's with finances, whether it's with fixing the car, fixing things around the house, things of that nature. So I, as a hypergamous woman, I'm looking for someone that is somehow better than me. And remember, if we were putting ourselves on a 1 to 10 scale, I put myself as a 6. I am looking for a 6.5 or a 7. So he does not even have to be several points higher than me. Even if he is a half point to 1 point higher than me, that counts. We don't talk about that enough. Women are 4s and want 10s.
She's definitely right about that. There are 4s and wants 10. She could be an extroverted introvert. Well, she's probably that. Yeah. Gloria's Love says, well, dang, over 80% of the ones that took your survey said they don't want to be in that kind of relationship. So ladies, if you have not taken the survey yet, make sure you hit it. Yeah, 84% right now that I'm looking at say you don't want that type of relationship. And let me tell you something. She's going to mention this I'll wait till she mentions it. Nothing wrong with hypergamy. The issue is delusion and relationship gouging. So Z Black Panther is giving us some top reasons that women don't qualify. Their look, overweight, they desire to be controlling relationship, they prioritize men, looks, height over productivity, they attain high education and financial independence. That's his analysis. That's his analysis as to why they don't qualify for hypergamous man.
They are 5s and want 9s. And they are not looks compatible. And that's a whole nother video. Couples that are not looks compatible, those relationships are not long-term viable when there's no looks compatibility. And I keep telling women, stop looking for pretty men. Stop looking for pretty men. You should be looking for average looking men who are attractive to you. But when you go after men that all the women in the world want, you asking for trouble. You asking for trouble. Stop looking for pretty men. Look for men that have something that's attractive about them, something that's interesting or attractive, something unique, but they don't have to be as good looking as you. Like, you're going to upset the nature balance by doing that. The woman is meant to be the fairer sex. The woman is meant to be the sexier sex. So remember that. We're not looking for men that are sexier than us. We're not looking for men that are prettier than us. All you're doing is that you're just inviting a big problem. Okay, so that is me by nature, and I come from a long line of hypergamous women. My mother, my grandmother, all married men who had more than them, who were doing better in life than them. They were brought up by the marriage, not down. And yes, if I can be real with y'all, that's my intention too. I want the marriage to bring me up. Even if it's a half a point to a point, I should gain something positive from being with a man. And the second I don't, I'm going. This is not making the life I have better. That's it. Okay. Some of y'all do need that lesson. But what is hypogamy, you ask? It is the opposite. It is women who choose men that are under them, that are not better than them in some way, shape, or form. And honey, can we be real? It's a lot of hypogamy going on. And it's weird because the men will speak about all of the educated women having Pookies and Ray Rays. Y'all know how I feel about that. I can't stand that now. But having all these ghetto guys, all these guys that aren't educated, and all these guys that don't have no car and don't have no place of their own and don't have nothing. Oh, and she has a doctorate. She's a doctor. She's a lawyer. She's a CPA. She's a this. She's a that. And she's dating this no good guy. Y'all.
Listen, a Peaceful Life, you could probably back me up on this. I'm telling you, as a police officer, I used to see it all the time. These attorneys, these sometimes they were COs, other police officers. There was a police officer I was working with who was dating a Pookie. We used to be like, "What are you doing?" And I worked the midnight shift, seeing these women all the time, arguing with these dudes on the side of the road, banging on their doors, 2 o'clock in the morning. The dudes are calling us, lawyers. Yes, I saw accountants. Who else did I see? College professors, just catching them all the time, all over the place, catching them, bailing them out all the time, Crazy, absolutely crazy. So yeah, there's always been going on, and it's wild. So. Bless her heart, she's talking about the wall. These women would rather die alone than accept anything that is greater than them, equal partners. But when Ebony K. Williams said she didn't want to date a bus driver, everybody was all up in arms about it. Oh, you're right about that. Everybody was up in arms about that. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But that's only good sausage addiction. Well, now they're partnering up with these people. And a lot of them wanted to partner up. They didn't recognize that it was just that addiction. A lot of them wanted to partner up. Just like being anything depends on the person. Pookie might be a 4 or a 5, but his downstairs is probably a 9 or a 10. Yeah, that's probably what it is. That's why I talk to men about getting that game up. I made a couple of videos about that, and ladies were jumping in on me. Why are you talking about this? You're just trying to make the channel about this guy, about that kind of stuff. We want more than that. Okay, well, the guys doesn't the educated guy have to be able to perform? Shouldn't his ability to speak and his mouth game be up on it? So I'm talking to these men about increasing that, right? Doing what you got to do in order to please them in the bedroom. I talk about it, right? You got to be the best version of yourself. From soup to nuts, literally.
Y'all are doing it already. You are already hypogamously dating. You may not be marrying, but if I can be real, it's a lot of women who are. Here is what I estimate. I estimate that 50 to 60% of the marriages of the couples that come in my practice, the woman is doing better. 50 to 60%. That's half or over half. The woman is making more money. The woman is more educated. The woman is, running the household and then running this. And the woman is doing most of it.
Is that why they're in therapy? I'm just curious. Is it because she's complaining he's not meeting my emotional needs? He's not doing this. Maybe I'm frustrated. I got the weight of the world on my shoulders and I got to do this. And he just wants to come home and crack open the beer, or he's not doing anything and he's not educated. He's not motivated. I don't know.
So in my humble opinion, that's where we're going. And we are definitely going there if you are a woman who's made up your mind that you want to be married and that you want to have a family. Okay, the boss chicks out here, the boss babes, the boss bees, see, they're the ones that's saying, I'm not settling. It's this or nothing. See, they're the ones that's saying that. And guess what, baby? It's going to be nothing. It's going to be nothing. So in 15, 20 years, you'll be 40 or 50. You will not be married and you will not have any children.
Vibe says we all have had friends who were with a man beneath them in status. Every girlfriend said the D must be D'ing. That's why I'm trying to get these dudes. Listen, you're D. If you're an educated dude, you got a college education, you're making whatever you're making. You got to get your D to be D'ing too, right? you got to get your D to be D'ing, right? Because you don't want to go to work one day. Here's the pool boy messing around, right? Life is full of trade-offs. Take the bad with the good. You're not going to please everybody. Let's see. Yeah, but we can say it's overall not beneficial to the women because she is assuming the masculine role. Well, that's what it is. Do you want that masculine role? Do you want that masculine role? Here we go.
If you are waiting on a man that has a doctorate degree like you, if you are waiting on a man that makes 150,000 or more like you, if you are waiting on a man, fill in the blank. If you're waiting for that, keep waiting. Keep waiting. You're going to be waiting for a while. And so when they say, well, I'm not willing to settle, and this is what I want, I agree with them. I do not have a problem with these women saying that. But here's what worries me. They're going to wake up one day at 45 or 50. That is going to be their reality. And sometimes I worry about that. Like now that it's actually happened, how do they feel about it? They love talking this talk when they're 25 or 30. But when you're 50, baby, I'm 50.
Well, this is what I'm saying, right? So, and this kind of goes to a Peaceful Life's point is that, okay, you've been waiting around, right? You've been waiting for this guy, rather than getting him straight out of college. Now you're waiting around, dealing with Pookies and Ray Rays, dealing with these other type of dudes. Now you want this guy who's an upper level echelon. Yes.
57. So I'm here to tell you because I've already been there. Then how do they feel about it? They love talking this talk when they're 25 or 30. But when you're 50, baby, I'm 57. So I'm here to tell you because I've already been there. I'm here to tell you that, 57, come on now. You don't have any children. You've never been married. I don't know what your friendships is like. I don't know what your family relationships is like. This is the scariest part of all. Even if your parents are your primary supporters, they getting ready to die. Then what? Like, then what? So if your mama and your daddy is on your release of information, if that's your next of kin, they getting ready to die. Then what you gonna do? So it's the wake-up call. It really is. I'm here to wake y'all out of your slumber. You have got to be realistic with yourself. And then your values, your goals, your vision, that has to align with what it is you really want, right? Your actions and what you're talking about, all that stuff has to align. And you're going to have to be really real with yourself. If I prioritize family, if I prioritize marriage, then guess what can't be prioritized? Money. Guess what can't be prioritized? Education. See, this is the thing that nobody is saying out loud. Because all of that can't be on the same line. Remember I told y'all that? I gave y'all the little assignment where you got to literally write out what the priority is. Line 1, line 2, line 3, all the way down. Several things cannot be all on one line. And if I was ever so humble, right, I would say, okay, if family and having children, being married and having a child is a priority, then that means that's at the top. How much money the man make, maybe after that, or how much education, like you have got to prioritize those things. But when you put things in priority, you have to act like it. So if you put marriage and family as one, that means the person who has good character, good morals, hardworking, maybe he's a blue collar guy.
Let's see. More with Less says, I believe the conundrum is the young men fresh out of college are still trying to figure out their vision and purpose. I can't give a man his purpose. I think if you're in college, you should probably be looking at guys who are 30, 35. You got to go older. Again, this is hypergamy, right? Not only making more educated, but also probably a little bit older. You got to go after those type of guys. And we got to tell our young girls to go out. I tell my daughter that. I've been telling my daughter that. You stop dating these dudes who are 1 or 2 years older. You got to go 5, maybe even 10 years older. Because they don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that. But that's what you got to do. You're right. These guys are straight out of college are making the same amount of money as you. But you want to be established, right? If the purpose is to be established, for the guy to be established, so you can married younger, 24, 25, 26, whatever, start your family and be done by the time you're 35 with your family. And then when the kids get older, 5, 10, 15 years, you can go back into the workforce if you so want. That's what some people are saying. So, but yeah, if you're looking at those types of people, in college, you're probably right. They're not going to be whatever you're going to do, be the best for you. The issue is they're not settling. The conflating social status and dating market value. One doesn't equal the other. That's definitely true. I believe I wrote that one. My medical provider, which is a female, gorgeous young woman, is married to a UPS driver. She's perfectly happy. Okay, well, there you go. I wonder what is it like when she goes to her family functions, when she goes to hang out with the colleagues, right? There's some medical talk or some conference somewhere, and she's bringing that guy. And UPS drivers hustle, right? UPS drivers hustle, right? So is he able to go to all this kind of stuff? I mean, I don't know. I mean, if she says she's happy, but I don't want to be a man. I can't be a man, and I want a man. I'm not trying to compete with a man. Okay. You guys hit the votes. Do ladies want to be hypogamous in relationships? 82% of you say no. You don't want that type of relationship. 18% say yes. My mother used to tell me that date a man 5 to 6 years older. I didn't listen because I wasn't really eager to be married and have children. Okay. Everybody younger than 30 is dating potential. Period. There you go. Dr. L, what if she isn't attracted to an older man? So what did you tell your daughter about achieving her? I told my daughter to get her education. She's still working on it. She got her associates, but she's still working on it. Matter of fact, she's going back for her bachelor's. She was taking some classes, some certification classes. She's been slowly working on it, but she's going back for her bachelor's this fall. So I definitely want her to get it. I don't think I've never seen anybody say we don't want an educated woman. I've never seen that, and I wouldn't pay attention to that. But I definitely, and as far as the attraction, there's 35-year-old guys in shape. The better in shape you are, the more you take care of yourself, you can attract that type of guy. You can attract that type of guy. But again, if you're looking, this is what Anita was saying. She already said you're still going after the pretty boys. Stop doing that. You don't have to be a 9 or a 10. Right? You need somebody who's going to be faithful, loyal, a provider, who's whatever, emotionally intelligent, right? All that look stuff. I'm not telling you to date somebody with 2 teeth in their mouth and jacked up hair and all that. I'm not telling you to do that. But I am saying that I think that we're placing too much emphasis on the pretty boys. I need to play. She said that earlier in the clip. So there is a lot that comes with a woman marrying a man 10 years older than her. Believe me, I know my first husband was older than me. Was it negative? Is that what you're saying? I mean, there's got to be some positive stuff out there. I'm sure we all understand if she's dating older than he's dating younger. No, that would go. Well, I said this was her UPS driver husband, gorgeous and fit. Well, that's probably true, Let's see. The UPS driver may have a higher DMV than a doctor, depending on her physical appearance and age, also his physical appearance. Thank you so much for that, gifting some memberships. I appreciate that. Thank you. Let's see. Here we go.
But he don't have $200,000 a year, or he doesn't have a master's or a doctorate degree. But guess what? If he's willing to have a family with you, he's willing to get married, especially now, baby, you better take that. You better take that deal. Because how about this? These men out here today don't even want to get married. And it don't matter what their job is. It don't matter what their education is. I seen plumbers talking about they don't want to get married. I seen realtors talking about they don't want to get married. I seen mechanics talking about they don't want to get married. It ain't just the so-called high-value men. It's men in general that are like.
I've talked about this. I told my daughter that, right? I've had a conversation with my daughter saying the exact same thing. She's telling me that these guys don't want to get married. They're not thinking about that. And the reason that they're not is because you guys are all giving it away. Why buy the cow when you get the milk for free? If I don't have to get married, if you're going to sleep with me, you're going to sleep with me, you're going to chase me down and sleep with me, you're going to do this, why should I get married? Everybody's giving it away. Got OnlyFans now. Everybody's giving it away. So either they're going to watch their funny movies and not deal with you, or they're just going to go with somebody who would. And my daughter kept saying it. She ran into nice guys. A couple of guys were HVAC certifications or, licenses and making good money. She ran into a couple of other guys making good money. And, they were sloppy, sending the wrong text messages and stuff like that. The whole, let's see, one time it was, what was it? It was, my plans got canceled. Can I come over and see you? Well, I can't see you tonight. Why not? What are you doing? Why can't you see me? Right. That kind of stuff. Right. So, I think Anita talked about that in a cheating video that I just watched today, where, right. The lack of transparency. Right. So just not being transparent. So you would be fine with her getting her bachelor's then, and that's it. And just focusing on getting married. I would be satisfied with her doing whatever she wants to do with her life. I'm talking about what you want and what she wants. And again, my point in this is asking you what you want. I'm not going to tell you my daughter's 27 years old. I'm not going to tell her what to do. Do I want grandkids? Yeah, I do. But does she want kids? Yeah, she does. So if she wants that, then she has to focus on that. Then she has to turn her time and her attention and her energy on that and make herself available in that way. She's going back to school. Maybe she can meet somebody. Maybe she's, or you have to be in this place, in this space, in this mindset. Here's where I think a lot of ladies kind of mess up with this, is that when you say that I'm focusing on my career, then you're saying you're not focusing on anything else. So that means when you go to the bookstore or to a library or whatever and start doing homework, your head is down and you're not paying attention to the world that's around you and not looking at the guy who's giving you some attention. So that's where I think that a lot of ladies are messing up at. And I've seen this a lot of times, or at least I've seen videos about ladies talking like this. So focused on getting my master's, so focused on finishing my JD, so focused on law school, so finished on med school, so focused on completing my doctorate that I wasn't looking for anything else. I'm just saying, if you want this, you got to be open to it. So I want her to get it. I want everybody to get it. Get as much as you can. And I recognize that there is a dilemma with ladies in saying, if I don't ever get married and I focus on getting married my whole life, and I never get married and I don't have anything to fall back on, then that's an issue. I'm sensitive to that. However, at the same time, if you're so focused on getting that, then you won't get the other thing that you want. So life is about trade-offs. Somebody put this in there. You gotta, you may be in med school, law school, getting your JD, but this guy's giving you attention and love and this, that, and the other. He's willing to shower you. Should you go after that and maybe scale back on your classes for your JD? That's up for you. I'm not gonna tell you what to do. I'm just trying to give you what you ought to be thinking about. My first husband, being 10 years older than me, was negative. He took me away to live out of the country and assumed the role of my father. Well, I'm not advocating for abusiveness, right? True peaceful life. UPS can pay well. Yeah, these brothers make good money. Yeah, but they hustle though. I mean, but so facts. These ladies got to look at the salary charts. These blue collar dudes and tradesmen are making bank. Yeah, so that's another big problem too that a lot of ladies are having, because he doesn't have a doctorate, because he doesn't have a master's degree, because he doesn't have a JD, because he's not a bus driver. Is he a good dude? Is he a good dude? And again, the question is, do you want that? Can you survive with that? Can you be okay with that? Can you walk into your family reunion? Can you walk into your high school reunion? Can you walk into you bring your husband to your job's family cookout or to the job's Christmas dinner and be proud of this man? That's the question you have to answer. I can't answer that for you. You have to be comfortable with that type of life and know that this man is meeting all of your emotional and physical needs and giving you some kids. That's what you should be focused on. If you focus on the D, if you're focused on, I'm not saying he should have trash D. I'm not saying that. But if you're focused on that and focus on his looks and you're focused on making sure your kids have this good hair and all that kind of stuff, you're going to be you're losing yourself. And this is where I've often talked about the mating strategy problem within the Black community. And far too often we're looking at that. And the reason that these high power women are going after this guy with the Pookies and Ray Rays is because, it's easily meeting their needs, the physical needs, while not meeting their emotional needs in the long term. That's the issue with them dating these type of men. Y'all make sure you hit the like button. And I would hesitate to even call it dating. They're just sleeping with you, right? You can't bring this guy to the cookout and all these other places I just listed. You can't bring him there all the time. No man wants a haughty, headstrong boss, feminist, influenced by women who is leaking spirit of offense and is slow to reciprocate beyond sex with a true provider serves quickly on a platter. Here we go.
I ain't trying to get married. I ain't trying to have the government in my business. I ain't trying to be responsible for no wife and kids. And yeah, these men out here today do not want to get married. So you better be clear on what your priorities are. If you want marriage and family, if you're a person of faith, whatever those values are, you've got to prioritize them. But right now, and it's a bunch of younger women, if I'm being honest. So right now, the younger women are prioritizing money. They're prioritizing height. They're prioritizing how pretty a man is or his, how fit he is. They're prioritizing all the wrong things. But guess what? They're going to wake up at 50 and all they're going to have is their priorities. You're going to have that list of priorities to keep you warm at night. Okay? So when you say, no, I'm not going to settle. I'm not going to settle. And I'm not, if you don't have this, if you don't have that, if you don't have, okay, again, I agree with them. But I tell them to look me up in 15 years. I say, look me up in 15 years. Let me know what happened, okay? I already know what happened, but I want to hear it for myself. But at some point, y'all, look, even when I met my ex-husband and he was in medical school, if I had sat around as a 29-year-old woman, well, he better make $200,000 and he better have this and he better have that. If that was number one, if that was on the number one line, I wouldn't have got married. I wouldn't have had no children.
I will say this, marrying my first husband at 19 and he was 30 taught me how to be a wife. We were married 17 years. Okay, was it a bad 17 years? Or, was that good that he taught you how to be a wife? Because that's probably what he was looking for. He was 30, probably semi-well established, still on his way up, right? Men don't hit their stride until 35. So that was what he was looking for, right? So, yeah, and you're absolutely right. They prioritize their sexual needs over stability. I don't know if you're here for this, Anita, but I talked about that. How many women I just caught all the time, bailing them out of prison, all the time. Ladies I had gone to church with, like you in the church. Why are you bailing this dude? I'm telling you, I was in the church. Then I became a police officer. I seen all the dirt. Seen it all. Like, what? You grew up in the church. You know better. Why are you with this dude? All the time, every weekend, bailing these dudes out. Perhaps these women are looking at Michelle Obama and Beyonce and saying that that's what they want. They're Barack and Jay-Z. Most people want to be part of the power couple and legacy. I think there's a lot of that, but Michelle Obama is not on everybody's favorite list as far as what she actually thinks. And she probably exemplifies this more than anyone else, right? She's high-powered herself, right? Got a law degree or whatever she's got, and got this podcast now. Reached the height of the pinnacle of success, and just unhappy, just absolutely crazy. Physical attraction is so powerful in the Black community because it's a matriarchal structure. Men have influenced so many women make emotional decisions. Men vet for character. We would be together, family functions, jobs, Christmas party, but I'm different and rare. Okay, here we go. Hit the like button, y'all.
His husband was a second or third year medical. Second year? He was a second year medical student. And look, was 5'9", 5'10". So I woke up and I come to realize, okay, what is the main thing? What's the main thing, Anita? What's the most important thing? And it was family. It was children. It was marriage. It was God. That's when I really returned to my faith, stronger. That was the main thing. It wasn't about money. It wasn't about looks. It wasn't about height. It wasn't about swag and all this. No, it was about leaving a legacy. I told a client this just the other day. This is another thing I hear from young women a lot. They'll say, yeah, I want family. Yeah, I want, this irritates me, y'all. They say, yeah, I want to get married. Yeah, I want to have a family. But here we go. I'll be fine if it doesn't happen. I'll be okay. I mean, I'm good. That's called being double-minded.
I think they will be. They probably will be, right? I mean, they got their cats, their dogs, their box wine, families, communities. They probably will. They probably think that they will be. Maybe I should say it like that. They think they will be. They don't see it. They don't see it. They don't see it.
That's called double-mindedness. And you wonder why you're not getting real results. Let me tell you something about Anita. And I told everybody this. And if you don't know, now you know. Let me tell you something about me. When I want something, when I have a desire, that's it. That's it. That's all I see. That's all I see. That's all I talk about. That's all I know. That's all I believe, period. When I want something, I get it. That has been my mantra most of my life. And can I be real with y'all? 90% of the things that Anita has ever said she wanted, she got. Because I'm not double-minded. I don't say one thing and then flip over here. And the truth is, all you're trying to do is protect yourself. That's why you say that. I want this, but I'll be okay if I don't get it. That's just a protection mechanism to keep you from being disappointed if you don't get it. No, baby, you got to want it. You got to want it like you never wanted it before. When I tell y'all, when I was ready to get married and I had that 30th birthday party and I announced to everybody at that party, I said, yeah, this is my last year being single. I'm getting married, y'all. Ain't have a man in sight. Yo, I did not have a man in sight. And I announced to a room full of 80 people that I was getting married. That is the level of belief I have in me making stuff happen. Then at 24, I had a surgery. The doctor told me, well, you have endometriosis. You have like all this uterine tissue growing outside of your uterus and growing on the outside and growing here and growing there. And, had to remove some tissue, had to remove some lymph nodes and all this stuff. So I don't know. I don't know about your fertility. I don't know if you're going to have kids. I don't know if you're going to have problems. No, I ain't. No, I ain't. Once I make up my mind, once I say that's what it is, that's what it is. That's what it is. And what's interesting is I tell people, this is the thing about God. He will do the part that you can't do, but there is a part that you got to do. So you got to do your part and he going to come right up and meet you just like this. But y'all be sitting around talking about you waiting on God. I'm waiting on God. Yeah, you're going to keep waiting too. He waiting on you too. Because he's not going to do the part that is you. Okay, understand that clearly. God is not going to do your part in the equation of you getting what you want. Everything I've ever wanted in this life, I got a husband. I got some kids. I got to be on a lot of different shows. I was on the Oprah show back in 2000. I've written books. I wanted to start my own practice. I did that. I wanted to start another business. I did that. Wanted to start this platform. Wanted to start a YouTube channel. I did that. Wanted to buy a home. I bought several homes. Wanted to buy cars. Bought several cars. Wanted to date certain people. Dated those people. Anything I want to do, I do it. But guess what? I believe that it's possible for me. That's the difference. A lot of you all do not believe that it's even possible. So guess what? You're not going to have it. And as long as you're double-minded, right? It's one thing to say, yes, I'd love to be married and have children. That is my desire. And my words and my actions, everything is going to align with that desire. And yet I can release a detachment from it. It's okay to release your attachment to it, right? We don't want you to be so attached. Like you can release attachment to it, but you can say, but it is done. It is done. It's over. It's finished. Because that's what I do. Every time I write something in my book of manifestation, I say, and it is done. That's the last thing I write. It is done. It is done. There ain't much that I've wanted to do that I have not done. It is done. But hypogamy, that is going to replace hypergamy. Because as long as it's going the way it's going, with women outpacing men in education and women, getting these, high post jobs and making money, that's where it's going. It's already there. I see it already. There's plenty of women in my practice who are married to men that make far less than them. Married to men that are not as smart as them. Can I say that? They're not their intellectual match. They're married to men that, have a lot of issues, have a lot of baggage. And I'm not suggesting that you marry a man with a lot of issues and baggage. Absolutely not. Character is king. Character is king. If it's a good-hearted man, if he's a godly man, if he is doing his best by you, If he's a school, I have a couple that the husband is a school teacher and he is a good, godly man. I pray for that couple all the time. I pray that God blesses their family. They have 4 children. I love them to death. He is a good man. But see, y'all don't want no school teacher. Y'all don't want no CDL driver. Y'all don't want no, post office worker or UPS delivery driver. There are some really great men out here that you could have a life with. You could have a family with. But the truth is, as long as women are going up, 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 right? And then y'all want to push men down, 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 you're not going to find your match. You're not going to find above yourself. It's one thing to want your match. Y'all want this. Y'all won't even do this. You won't even do a man that match you. That's crazy. But y'all not going to have no choice. It's only going to be 2 types of women. Women who are hypogamously married and women who are single and without children. That's it. That's what we're going to have. Because, and then we're going to have maybe 1 or 2% of women. I said it. 1 to 2% of women that will be married hypergamously. All the rest of y'all will be hypogamous or you will be by yourself. And remember, being by yourself is not the worst thing that can happen. But if that's not what you want, you have to realign your priorities. That's the message. I'm not here to shame anybody who's by themselves. I'm by myself. I'm living my best life right now. It's a ball. It's a blast. But I have already walked the path of being married and having a family. My family's grown. My children are adults. I've already had that experience. I'm now focused on my mom, my dad, and their health and all of this stuff. I'm focused on other dreams and goals that I have. I'm talking to you if you're between 20 and 40. Okay? If you're between 20 and 40, this message is for you. So you got to not just want it, you got to act like it. And a lot of y'all are not acting like it. You say out of your mouth, I want to marry, I want to have kids. And then you do the very opposite of what it is you say and wonder why you don't have good results. So that's it. That's the video. I got to run to the store and I got to head home for an appointment. That's it. So let me know what you think in the comments. Everything you need to know about me is in the description box below. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you all. Have a great day. And as always, stay open to love.
All right, so that's the video there. Do me a favor, go over to her channel. We watched the video, so just hit the like button on her channel for that video and watch her other videos as well. If you're not subscribed to her, make sure you do that as well. Yeah, so we're unfortunate with drifting farther and farther apart. Generation Love says, for men who follow Christ, you may have to search globally for a suitable helper, a woman who won't make who you won't have to clear away a mountain of icks before she could see and take a chance on who's honorable. There was a guy who had I don't think he's got the channel anymore. He was called the Guy with the Ick List. He had, when I saw it, it was well over 850 icks. She didn't like the way he ties his shoes, or didn't like the way he sucked the juice out of a straw. Just crazy stuff, right? The sisterhood won't accept a woman marrying someone of perceived lower status. Somebody put something in here about older women, and I was looking for older women don't behave this way, or should be looking at something else. And I was looking for a video that I saw. I thought I saved it, but it was a panel of older women in their 40s, and this woman was saying this. She was saying, "I'm a 40-year-old, and I can, at my age, I can date the daddy or the son, so I can have whatever I want." So there's a lot of ladies out here, and this again, when they put this stuff up here, it spreads like a virus into other people's minds and say, "Okay, this is the way I'm going to live. I'm going to be 40 years old and do this," or I can put it off. I don't have to get married. I don't have to have kids, and I can become the 40-year-old auntie. This is what they're saying. New York Chocolate, they don't choose men. Let me read her first comment here. Let me see. New York Chocolate says, Auntie Anita, so you're saying they prioritize sex over children? I'm telling you they do that. Aren't they striving to provide for their children? And then Anita answers this and says, they don't choose men based on what type of father he will be. They have children with men who are deadbeat fathers. Yeah. And then want to bring those same kids to the good guy, right? I released a video about that. No, did I release a video, or was it members only? They're all running together. I can't remember where I talked about that. Let's see. The sisterhood won't accept that for men who follow Christ. Better love movement. Reproducing a fool is not good. Return on investment. Character is king. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. There's a lot of ladies out there, and it's your friends. And I think High Vibe put this in there too. Like they all have a girlfriend who's dating someone who's lower. It's all your friends. It's all your friends who are doing it. Probably some of you all in here. Right? So I mean, but now you're gonna be marrying these guys, and you're gonna be okay with that. Could you be okay with the guy who's, I mean, the UPS driver is probably making some good money. But could you be okay with that? Could you be okay with you being the breadwinner and this guy who is not, I think I read it on here before where there was a stay-at-home dad, and he was trying to start a stay-at-home club for stay-at-home dads, and it just looks so beta. Like, what are you doing, man? Like, why would you start a club like this? And he goes to the park with his kids, and the women there are looking at him like he's a fool. But this is becoming the norm. This is becoming the norm because women have leveled up because of this, that, and the other. And so my attitude is you got to push the boys. If you ladies want men, and here's the problem, you're not thinking, as Anita said, you're not thinking about your children. You're not thinking about the future generation. You're just enjoying your life today. That's a big difference between men and women. That is a big difference between men and women. A lot of times women are just looking at today. Here's how everything's going today. Here's how, I'm going to survive for today. And you're not thinking about future generations, thinking about legacy. Guys think about legacy. I want somebody who's going to carry on my name. Guys will plant a tree for someone else to sit under one day, right? So we're going to buy a house so that we'll be able to pass something on to our children. A lot of times women don't think that way. They want to travel. Somebody else put this in there. They want to travel and get the bag. And it's really sad. And in our community, it's even worse. There is no sisterhood. There are women who choose what they want and for their lives. People do what it is they want to do. That's exactly my point. They only have those standards for marriage, not sex. They will support each other sleeping with a sexy convict. Yeah, all the time. Another thing that we have to face is the stigma for women who do not want marriage or children. I think that's really a career focused on what I think that's really what career focused women are afraid to face about themselves because they feel pressured. Well, listen, I think that if you don't want it, don't do it. I think if you don't want it, just stand on it. I mean, that's becoming more acceptable too. If you don't want that, don't do it, right? Because there's no sense in doing something you really don't want to do. Now you're in a situation you don't want to be in. You're with a man you really don't want to be with kids you really don't want. I can't imagine a worse existence than that. I could not imagine a worse existence than that. Particularly as the children, they're going to feel that energy, or as the husband, he's going to feel that energy. You're good. You're good. Let's see. Garrett is late to the party. Military women married to civilians. Those men are stay-at-home dads because of a lot of moving around. How's that working out, right? Don't military women, I mean, the whole military just one big Peyton's place? All right. Well, I mean, listen, you got to do what's best for you. I'm just asking a question as to whether you want that or not. So if that's what you want, then you got to go for it and be the best at it. That's my opinion. So yeah. Trying to check these numbers here. And then I will bid you all adieu. There's a chat. What's the chat? Hit the like button. We got 31 likes here. 54 people watch. Come on, y'all. Get the likes up. So 79 ladies do not, 79% of the ladies do not want to be in a hypogamous relationship. 21 want it. Give me a reason why you want that. There's a couple of ladies in here have said that this is what they want. Tell us why you want that, why you want to be the majority breadwinner in here. A couple of ladies type that in. I'm definitely interested in that. You too, Sweet Tea, have a good one. We're gonna break out in a few minutes. I gotta go out, but I wanted to drop this video here. 50% is better than 0, right? Yeah. Is there any higher rate of divorce is there a higher rate of divorce? That's a good question. I'm not exactly sure. I read one time a study that said when she goes up in education, or when she starts making more money, and when she gets her master's and gets higher, whatever, then the chances of it increase. The chances of it getting divorced increase, but it's not necessarily more. So I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I've heard, I heard different statistical breakdowns, and I haven't looked at it. I'm just telling you what I heard other people say. I don't know how that goes. Rhonda, lesbian divorce rates are higher than male couples. I'm still waiting for some ladies in here to tell us why you want that. Why you want to be the breadwinner in a relationship, why you want to be in a hypogamous relationship. Is because you want the dominance? Is it because you want, and there's nothing wrong with it. You want the dominance, you want the power, you want to be the controlling of the finances because you want a compromised man. You want him, you think that he'll be more faithful and loyal if he doesn't have the means to cheat on you. I mean, why do you want that? It can be. More education and more money does increase the rate of divorce. Yeah. I remember hearing that, reading that, but I also heard somebody else refuting that, so I'm not exactly sure. It's pride, power, and they want to be like men. I just want them to say it. I mean, if that's what it is, that's what it is. Just say it. If you want to be like a man, say it with your chest. I want a man who's compromised. I want a man who I can run and tell what to do and be where I want him to be. Right? I want to be on top every night. Just say it. Oh man. I'm waiting to hear it too. Yeah, ladies. Is this the social pressure and stigma that you guys don't want to comment about why you want that? Why? I mean, if you want it, you want it. But just tell us why. Why in the hell would I want to be the breadwinner? Well, 21, unless they're trolling, 21% of the ladies in here said that. I mean, unless they all hit the button and left. They would rather pay 100% than go 50-50. Equality advantages a man. That's unacceptable unless a man has a superior physical look and arouses her. Yeah. So, I mean, is it you really just enjoy the power? You just enjoy being in charge? Women want control. Oh. There was another video. It was an Instagram. I didn't save this one, but this lady said that. What if men were supposed to be the pit bulls and the builders, where women are supposed to be in charge, making all the moves? I didn't save it though, but it was a good thought experiment by her. So, all right, I guess y'all ain't gonna write in here. Let's see. I hit the wrong button, misread the question. Okay. Okay. Maybe they're agreeing to it for the sake of having a marriage. A peaceful, you missed the marriage guide the other day. You would have had a field day. The marriage guy? These women are not technically the breadwinners. They are co-providers. In a hypogamous relationship? Isn't that what we're talking about? That she's the breadwinner? She has more education and status. So this gets a little funny about how we're defining this here. So if she has more education, more social status, let's just say the doctor example, right? She's a doctor. She makes $200,000 a year as a doctor, but he's a mechanic and he makes $300,000 a year because he's a mechanic. So she has more social status, more education, but his mechanic's job, I would not consider that to be a hypogamous relationship on her part. I think that she would still be in a hypergamous relationship. When I'm saying hypogamous, I'm saying that she has more education, more social status, and she makes more money. That's what I'm saying that it is. Let's see, high vibe. So that is a statement. So is that a statement that women need marriage? No, they absolutely do not need marriage. Co-provider, that's not a co-leader. Even the Roman Empire found that doesn't work. he brings something to the table, just not as much as her. Yeah. But the breadwinner is the majority earner, right? So even if she's making $50,000 a year and he's making $30,000 a year, she's still the breadwinner. She will pay 80% if the guy looks like Derek Jackson. It's all subjective. Yeah. We all know that. Hypogamy is he has less all the way around, not nothing. Right. I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. Hypogamy is for old women. 8, 9 are in dimes are hypergamous. Yeah. Well, I don't know about that, but okay. I know an orthopedic surgeon married to a mechanic, been together since high school. But yeah, so if so, she is in the hypogamous relationship, and he's in the hypergamous relationship, right? So, I mean, but as long as they can make it work, they can make it work. So, even the UPS driver, if he's making $150,000 a year, and the doctor is making $250 or $300, whatever she makes as a doctor, minus the student loans, uh, it's still a hypogamous relationship. I'm not saying I agree. It's not a Pookie and Ray Ray doing nothing. I wasn't addressed, but there are ladies out there dating Pookies and Ray Rays and ain't doing nothing, right? While you're at your lawyer job, he's driving around in your Jaguar all day with picking up other chicks. I shouldn't laugh at that because I know a lot of ladies like that. All right, so nobody's going to comment in here about my question here. Oh man, I was really disappointed. Now I really want to know why y'all wanted that. So, all right, we're going to leave it off here. I really appreciate y'all rocking with us on this Saturday afternoon. Arousal determine how much today's women are willing to contribute. Yeah, you got to get their loins moving and flowing and stuff. If you don't, it's a wrap. There's no co-captains, co-presidents, etc. That's how it works. All right, y'all. So thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you hit the like button on Anita's channel. Subscribe to her if you're not. Hit the like button on this video on your way out. If you would be so kind, you want to buy me some lunch, I would really appreciate it. And so I don't have to be in a hypogamous relationship. So all right, y'all. Take care of yourselves. Much love and peace.